Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Vandegrift with Endtime Ministries, and this is Prophecy in the News. Just like the Bible tells us, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars, and we've heard about all these war talks recently. And with all these talks, a lot of people have asked, what war are we actually getting ready to see? A lot of people have asked me, are we getting ready to see World War III, the Sixth Trumpet War, or the Battle of Gog and Magog in Ezekiel 38 and 39? Or what about the Battle of Armageddon? Is that about to happen? Are any of these wars the same thing? A lot of people are confused about these wars, so I thought that I would take a little bit of time today to discuss these wars and maybe help you out, help you with your understanding of when these wars are going to happen, if any of them are the same war, so on and so forth. So let me start today with Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39, the Battle of Gog and Magog. When you look at the context of Ezekiel 38 and 39, you'll find a lot of similarities if you cross-reference the things mentioned in Ezekiel 38 with the Battle of Armageddon. You'll see a lot of similarities. And just to cut to the chase for the sake of time, the Battle of Gog and Magog is the Battle of Armageddon. Now, there's a lot of clues that you can look at, but there's one that's absolutely irrefutable. If you'll look in Revelation chapter number 19, when the Lord comes back at the Battle of Armageddon to conclude the battle, you'll see an event in verses 17 through 20 called the Supper of our Great God. Now, this is when the fowl of the air, the beasts of the field, they come to eat the flesh of the kings and the mighty men. If you'll look in Ezekiel chapter 39, verses 17 through 20, you see the exact same event mentioned. The fowl of the air, the beasts of the field, they come to eat the flesh of the kings, the priests, and the mighty men. Both of these wars conclude at the same event. So we understand that the Battle of Gog and Magog and the Battle of Armageddon are in fact the same war. Now, a lot of people have asked me, what about World War III? World War III is going to be this huge, devastating war, and a lot of people think Armageddon is going to be the same thing. And so they ask, could World War III be the Battle of Armageddon? Could it just happen at the same time and we've maybe missed some things? Well, there's one way to absolutely prove that these are not the same war. We know that the Battle of Armageddon has to happen at the time of the Second Coming, which occurs after the tribulation. The Lord actually comes back during the Battle of Armageddon. So this is going to take place after the tribulation. Now, when we follow the sequence of the trumpets in Revelation chapter 8 through Revelation chapter number 11, we see that the Sixth Trumpet War, World War III, happens in Revelation chapter number 9. Now, in Revelation chapter number 10, we see a man standing with a foot on the land, a foot on the sea, and he has his hands raised to heaven, and he declares that time should be no more. Now, we see this exact same depiction in Daniel chapter number 12. A man with a foot on the land, a foot on the sea, his hands raised to heaven, saying the delay or time should be no longer. Except for in Daniel 12, somebody poses the question and asks, how long shall the time of these wonders be? And the answer given is a time, times, and a half. This terminology is always used to represent the 3.5-year tribulation period. And so we see that in Revelation chapter number 10, after the war that kills 1/3 of mankind. So we know that World War III, the Sixth Trumpet War, must happen prior to the start of the tribulation. So that means that World War III and the Battle of Armageddon are separated by at least 3.5 years. If you need further proof for that, you can look in Revelation chapter number 11, starting with the first 4 verses. John was told to measure the temple, but not the outer court of the temple, because it would be trodden down of the Gentiles for 42 months. The 2 witnesses begin their ministry for 1,260 days. Both of those times are equivalent to 3.5 years. So we know that World War III has to happen at least 3.5 years before the Battle of Armageddon. Therefore, they are not the same war. So just a brief recap. It appears that the next war to take place is going to be World War III, the Sixth Trumpet War. Now, World War III must happen at least 3.5 years before the Battle of Armageddon, and the Battle of Armageddon is also known as the Battle of Gog and Magog, according to Ezekiel 38 and 39. So I hope this helps you today with your understanding of these wars and maybe straighten some things out for you. I appreciate you watching today. I'm Anthony Vandegrift with Endtime Ministries, and this has been your Prophecy in the News.